Is the government and its politician really the key for the success of the country? Did we really use our power to elect the right person, or did we just choose them because of their popularity? Are we the one who will be benefiting from them, or we are the one who will be paying the price for choosing them? Politics has a very crucial role in shaping the country's economy and its people. In today's generation, is it really time for us to seek for what is true and what is just? We will be searching and looking for the different perspectives of Filipino people about the government and its impact on their lives.
I'm Engineer Glycerin Velasco, a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering in HONORIO Ventura State University. Currently, I am employed as an engineer in a construction company.
My name is Jason P. Peña, a senior high school teacher from San Luis National High School, 45 years old.
I'm Azarvat Tropez, studying at University of Assumption.
I am IC, a computer engineering student from Batangas State University, Alangilan Campus.
Ako si Darin Bundalian, 36 years old. Isa po akong factory worker.
Magdalena Diaz from San Vicente, Bacolor, Pampanga.
Patriotism and love of country. With the increasing number of Filipinos moving abroad for better opportunities, what do you think can be done to encourage them to stay and contribute to the country's development?
Well, it's understandable why many Filipinos seek better opportunities abroad, especially because they offer higher salary, mas maraming opportunities at mas mag-i-improve ang career nila in other countries. For me, to encourage them to stay, the government should improve the employment sector and the opportunities in our country. Also give proper training to enhance their skills at their certain fields and make it standard on all companies to compensate based on their skills and knowledge, not just with the years of experience.
The government must create job opportunities in the country, offers well-paying and stable jobs locally, also provides training, incentives, and offer competitive benefits to encourage them to stay in the country.
Most of Filipinos kasi go to abroad for better opportunities and especially for high salary. So I don't think we can encourage them to stay here considering how corrupt our government is, tas kung gaano kababa pa yung sahod dito sa Pilipinas. So, ang only thing lang na makapag-stay sa kanila dito siguro is good governance and syempre mataas na sahod and better opportunities.
I think government should have programs to support the entrepreneurship and the innovation that inspires them for them to stay in this country and by having more job opportunities and improving their living conditions.
Para sa akin, syempre, dapat itaas ang sahod para hindi na maisipan ng mga kababayan natin na mga ibang bansa. Kasi yun lang naman yung reason nila para pumunta sa ibang bansa kasi nga mataas yung sahod doon kaysa dito sa Pilipinas at mas malaking opportunity yung nag-iintay sa kanila doon. Kaya sana, yun yung unang-unang gawin ng gobyerno para manatili yung mga Pilipino, mga kapwa natin Pilipino na dito na lang magtrabaho.
Itaas ang sweldo ng mga manggagawa upang manatili sila sa ating bansa at para umikot lamang sa bayan ang perang kikitain ng ekonomiya.
We can encourage Filipinos to stay if the Philippines provide good job opportunities. The main reasons of Filipinos leave the country is to make money. That's because life is expensive and there are not enough opportunities at home to make money just to live. That's why there is a torrent of OFW going outside the country just to make ends meet for their families at home. If the salary will increase, we can encourage them to stay And if the government is not corrupt, then definitely the expenses for food and anything will be less. Maybe Filipinos will not go abroad and will not seek for a good job opportunities because they can have it in our own country. According to the Philippine Statistics Authority, estimates that about 10% of the population of the Philippines work overseas.
Concern over other citizens, the peasant classes. What more can DepEd do to address the educational needs of peasant children who live in remote areas with limited access to schools or technology?
The DepEd department should provide a sufficient financial budget to expand their learning materials and technology, providing alternative ways like modular and ALS. Also, increase the compensation of the educators since it's a remote location. It's really difficult for them to educate, especially with the lack of materials. After all, it's the teacher who makes the difference, not the classroom.
DepEd can expand community learning centers that establish learning hubs in remote areas to reduce travel time for children. Provide mobile classrooms equipped with basic learning materials could bring education to children in inaccessible locations. Enhance teacher deployment and training how to adopt teachers' methods for multi-grade and culturally.
DepEd can improve education by providing siguro mga printed learning materials using radio or TV-based lessons. Tapos, expand yung access nila sa solar para kung hindi aabot yung kuryente, solar na lang. So, mas rin siya mas convenient din siya.
I think DepEd can implement mobile learning programs, tapos yung build more accessible community schools, at pwede rin silang mag-partner sa mga NGOs to provide technology at materials sa mga remote learning along with the help of scholarships and incentives for the teachers.
Hindi kasi ganun ka-accessible yung mga paaralan, lalo sa malalayong lugar. Para sa akin, mas pagtuunan nila ng pansin yung pagpapagawa ng mismong paaralan na malapit sa kanilang lugar. O kaya, kung malayo man yung eskwelahan sa kanila is sila ng sariling service or mapagtayuan sila ng mga tulay na pwede nilang daanan papunta ng eskwela kung malayo man ito. Pwede rin na magpadala ang DepEd ng mga private mga teacher ganon sa mga bayan nila para sila mismo yung pupunta sa mga mag-aaral na hindi kayang pumasok o hindi ganon ka accessible sa mga paaralan kasi unang-una mahihirap o nasa mahirap silang sitwasyon.
Magbigay ng isang programa para sa mga anak na magsasaka na naaayon sa kanilang mga pangarap tulad ng edukasyon na naaangkop din sa pamamaraan ng pagsasaka para maipagpatuloy ang pagiging magsasaka at hindi mawalan ng interes sa pagiging magsasaka.
The Department of Education could contribute more to assessing pleasant children living in remote areas by implementing projects aimed to rendering education reachable even to remote areas. A possible approach is setting up mobile classroom or educational establishment in remote areas farther from schools. When there are not any school in the nearby area, such mobile classroom can offer teachers, books, and learning resources. Implementing education more connected to families would make it more convenient and secure for children to attend school. In addition, DepEd may strengthen action that advocates adaptable learning schedules such as alternative learning system. The majority of pleasant children are unlikely to participate in regularly scheduled classes since they must provide for their families by working on crops. They may pursue their studies alongside providing for their families by attending lessons assigned during weekends or late hours, and even using offline courses and televisions. All of this ensures that they will not be forced to make decisions between their education and their jobs. In conclusion, to enhance accessibility to technology, DepEd must encourage partnership with non-government organizations and local government. Solar-powered devices as well as traditional learning platform could offer courses without additionally asking for power or internet access, especially in remote areas in which internet connection may not be reachable. DepEd could make sure that pleasant children to remote areas can gain knowledge and contribute to a stronger future by focusing especially on this practical option.
The future of the nation. With the Philippines facing challenges like climate change, corruption, and overpopulation, how can you see our nation in 10 years from now?
Given the fact that for the past 10 years up until now, the Philippines has still slowly progressing, I can see that the Philippines will still be constantly facing the challenges we face right now.
I can see our nation in 10 years from now in climate change, the government investing in renewable energy and enhancing disaster preparedness for minimizing the impact of natural and human-made calamities, saving lives and ensuring a faster recovery. With regards to corruption, the government strengthened institution and digital governance system may reduce corruption by promoting transparency and accountability. And the last is overpopulation. The country extended reproductive health programs to stabilize population growth.
Most probably yung situation natin mas magiging worse pa considering yung government nga natin ngayon. So as long as hindi maayos yung pagpapatakbo ng government, yung challenges na kinakaharap natin ngayon is hindi masosolve.
In 10 years from now, I see Philippines as a successful country if this country can address the climate change with sustainable practices and pinapalakasan ng mga governments para malabanan yung corruption at makapag-influence sila ng mga epektibong paraan para hindi lumaki yung population dito.
Patungkol sa klima, para sa akin, nakikita ko 10 years from now na mas lalala pa ang mga damage, lalo na sa mga, kunyari, sa pag-ulan sa mga mababang lugar dito sa Pilipinas. Kung hindi maayos, lalong maapektuhan yung mga tao. Pagdating naman sa korupsyon, hindi ko alam kung maaalis pa yung korupsyon na yan, pero sana, kung lalo na ngayong malapit na ang botohan, sana kahit papano is mabawasan o makontrol yung yung corruption sa gobyerno. At pagdating naman sa populasyon, nakikita ko 10 years from now na mas dadami pa yung bilang ng mga Pilipino kung hindi pagtutuunan ng pansin ang pagpa-family planning ng mag-asawa o kaya ng mga kabataan ngayon. Kung hindi sila matututukan ng maayos, is talagang dadami pa ang populasyon natin sa Pilipinas.
Di ko matiyak, pero sana mas maging mabuti na ang sitwasyon ng ating bansa sa mga susunod pang taon.
10 years from now, the climate change will have a serious problem. As we see in the news this past few months that Mount Fuji has a delay of snow after 130 years and the desert in the Saudi Arabia suddenly snowed for the first time. In these changes, we see how bad it will get in the future. And from the United States Environmental Protection Agency of the Chicago, they also said that it will expect and we will expect increasing of greenhouse gases that may affect various things such as warmer atmosphere, acidic ocean, and high sea levels. And from the World Economic Forum in terms of the corruption, as they said, we had to fight for it. because it involves us and we can change it. And 10 years from now, with the help of the technology, it can help us to fight for the corruption and makes the world a better place. And based on the Philippine Statistics Authority or the PSA, our country's expected population 10 years from now is around 120 million people, which is steadily growth but at a lower rate than the past. And from the United Nations, we expect around 8.6 billion people in the next 10 years, which has a slower pace than the previous decades.
Improvements and mistakes of the state. While the Build program has led to infrastructure improvements, what do you think the government should do to address issues like corruption and poverty that still affect many Filipinos?
The main reason of poverty is corruption. Yearly, the national budget is increasing, while the nation is still slowly progressing. The government should focus on where the budget is going. They need to be transparent and accountable with the budgets and all, make use of the funds properly, and publish them to avoid corrupt practices. But sadly, the government is the main culprit of the corruption.
The government should adopt a strategy focusing on governance reforms, equitable economic development, and social welfare, enforce transparency and accountability of government contracts, budgets, and project progress.
To address corruption and poverty, dapat yung government mas patatagin nila yung anti-corruption efforts, yung improve nila yung transparency, and mag-enforce sila ng accountability. Tapos mag-expand din sila ng mga social welfare programs and mag-promote ng inclusive economic growth.
I think government should prioritize yung transparent governance and grassroots the anti-corruption measures alongside yung mga infrastructure na projects. Tsaka yung social programs at poverty reduction and equitable resource distribution.
Para sa akin, paano matutugunan ng pamahalaan ng korupsyon is pumili ng isang leader na maaasahan at hindi gagawa ng ikasisira o ikakabagsak ng Pilipinas. Lalo na ngayong botohan, pumili sana tayo ng isang kandidato na karapat-dapat. And sa kahirapan naman, kailangan ng talagang masusing tugon para maano yung kahirapan, tulad ng pagbibigay ng maraming trabaho pa sa mga Pilipino, and yun nga yung taasan ng sahod kahit papano para mabili yung mga pangangailangan ng pamilya, kasi lalo na sa pagkain mataas na ang mga bilihin ngayon, mga kailangan bayaran na kuryente, tubig, transportasyon, lahat is tumaas na talaga. Kaya kahit sumasahod pa ng minimum is kulang na kulang pa rin. Kaya sana taasan na lang nila yung sahod at magbigay pa sila ng mas maraming trabaho sa mga Pilipino at sa mga malalayong lugar. Yung mga magsasaka is bigyan nila ng puhunan yung mga gustong magnegosyo para kahit papaano may mapagkakakitaan sila, para may pambili sila ng pagkain, para hindi nagugutom yung pamilya nila, and makaiwas sila sa makaiwas sila sa kahirapan. Pero sana tutulungan din nila yung sarili nila na makahon din sa kahirapan, hindi lang sila aasa sa gobyerno. Kailangan sa sarili din nila, tulungan din nila yung sarili nila na umahon sa kahirapan, kasi yun lang yung magagawa mo para sa pamilya mo. Ikaw mismo gagawa. Hindi ka na lang din aasa dapat sa gobyerno.
Kung magtatayo sila ng mga infrastruktura, mas mabuting palitan agad nila ito ng mga punong kanilang pinutol. Klima rin ang magiging problemang haharapin ng bansa kung sakaling ito ay magpatuloy.
According to Jennifer Sheberlin, Fellows Filipino, Build, Build, Build has brought infrastructure improvement, yet corruption and poverty persist. To truly progress, we must strengthen anti-corruption agency, promote transparency, and invest heavily in education, job, training, and healthcare, inclusive growth, empowering marginalized communities, and robust social safety nets are vital. Ultimate, a culture of accountability demanding ethical conduct from our leaders is key to build a more just and purposeful Philippines for all.
Valuing heritage, culture, and history. Why is preserving our heritage, culture, and history important in today's world? And how can we ensure they remain valued by future generations?
Just today, but as the time goes by, we need to value our roots because it's the foundation of our origin and it defines who we are. Preserving our values and tradition is preserving our identity. So if we lose them, parang we lose ourselves as well. Also, giving importance to our history help us learn from the past. Therefore, it is crucial to pass on those traditions to the future generation so we don't lose them. To make sure it remains valuable, we need to spread awareness and teach the younger ones how significant it is. They should always remember the importance of our culture and tradition. Like now in Pampanga, mas madalas na magtagalog na lang yung mga bata kaysa magkapampangan kasi yung mga parents nila speaks Tagalog to communicate with them. There's also this shift where a lot of kids are more fluent in English than Tagalog. So we really need to stop this and make an effort to preserve what's ours to pass and keep alive for future generations.
Preserving heritage, culture, and history is important in today's fast-changing world because they anchor societies to their roots, foster a sense of identity, and provide valuable lessons for the future. It helps bridge differences and promotes unity, especially in multicultural societies.
Preserving heritage, culture, and history, crucial siya sa pag-maintain ng identity, tas pag-foster ng pride, tsaka para matutunan yung mga past experiences. So, para ma-ensure na they remain valued, kailangan i-educate natin yung future generations, tapos i-promote natin yung mga cultural appreciation sa media and events, tapos protektahan yung mga historical sites.
Preserving our cultural heritage and history is essential because they fosters national identity and pride that unites the communities. And we can ensure its value through the education, cultural programs, and the protection of historical sites like the National Museum.
Para sa akin, napahalagang ingatan yung kultura natin kasi yun yung karakteristik ng mga Pilipino na alam ng buong mundo. Tulad na lang nung pagmano, lalo na ngayong makabagong panahon, hindi na masyadong napagtutuunan ng pansin ng mga kabataan ng pagmamano sa mga nakakatanda. Kaya kailangan patuloy na pa rin itong ituro sa kanila. Yung mga simpleng paraan lang ng pagmamano, pagsasabi ng po at opo sa mga nakakatanda is malaking bagay na iyon. Lalo na sa panahon ngayon, talagang iba na yung pag-uugali ng mga kabataan. Hindi na kamukha nung dati. Sobra silang magalang, hindi sila sumasagot sa mga nakakatanda sa kanila. Pero ngayon, nakikita mo na hindi na kamukha nung dati. Wala na silang takot at mas na sila, liberal na sila. Kaya kailangan turuan pa din natin yung mga kabataan ngayon. Nauuna yun sa bahay. Kailangan mga magulang yung una magtuturo sa kanila ng mga kultura, kasaysayan na kailangan nilang malaman. And pangalawa, sa eskwelahan, kailangan pinaka-importante din yun na maturo sa kanila yung kasaysayan natin at yung mga kultura natin para hindi mawala sa susunod na henerasyon.
Dahil ito ang nagbibigay identity sa ating mga Pilipino, kung mawawala ito, parang nawalan na rin tayo na ibahagi sa mga bagong henerasyon ang mga tradisyong pinagisnan at ang mga kultura ng mga Pilipino upang manatili ito sa puso't isipan.
A study by UNESCO found that traditional practices and indigenous languages are at high extinction. Some estimates predict that up to 95% of the language of the world could face extinction by the end of this century if no significant action is taken. Moreover, a study found that youth level of awareness of Filipino dances, cultural dress, and traditional foods was low. This level of unfamiliarity is alarming as it can lead to the loss of a crucial aspect of cultural identity. So why do we need to preserve our cultural heritage in today's world? According to UNESCO's Overcoming Barriers to Peace, the preservation of cultural heritage fosters peace and reduces xenophobia and ethnocentrism across different ethnic and cultural groups. Sociologist Maurice Halbwachs believed that shared memories are fundamental in binding communities together, creating a common identity and influencing our behaviors. George Santayana's famous quote, "Those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it," highlights the importance of understanding history to avoid repeating past mistakes. By learning from history, societies and their citizens can build a good and better future. How to ensure cultural heritage remains valuable for future generations. One is public awareness. According to the scientific journal London Publishing SL, promoting awareness and understanding of cultural heritage is an essential component of its preservation. Educating the public helps foster understanding and appreciation of them. Second is community involvement. A research study about cultural heritage preservation through community engagement indicates that active community involvement enhances the effectiveness and sustainability of preservation efforts as it keeps the cultural heritage alive and allow it to be adopted by future generations. Lastly, legal protection. According to the scientific cultural journal, laws and regulations play a critical role in preserving cultural heritage and history, as these establish rules and appropriate guidelines for the protection of cultural heritage against any harm. Some international organizations like UNESCO, as well as national bodies such as the National Commission for Culture and the Arts (NCCA) and National Museum of the Philippines (NMP), are agencies involved in establishing guidelines and providing support to protect cultural heritage.
Fake news and disinformation. In your opinion, how can the average Filipino protect themselves from the dangers of fake news, especially during times of crisis?
In order to protect ourselves, we should do fact-checking and be intelligent with what we see and read online. It's important not just to believe everything na nakikita sa social media kasi minsan hindi lahat ng information na yan ay tama or reliable. Kaya always be smart and check our resources before sharing or spreading them with anyone.
Use critical thinking and adopt media literacy in families. School and communities will also create long-term defenses against misinformation. Never share a post on social media without fact-checking.
To protect themselves from fake news, they can verify information from credible sources. Tapos, pwede rin sila mag-cross-checking with multiple trusted platforms, and sa mga kailangan cautious din sila sa mga nakikita nilang mga unverified informations, and educate nila yung mga sarili nila sa digital literacy.
I think Filipinos can protect themselves by verifying information from credible sources and avoiding the spread of fake news. Additionally, promoting digital literacy and critical thinking is essential.
Ang isang ordinaryong Pilipino, pwede mong protektahan ang iyong sarili laban sa mga fake news, lalo na ngayong panahon ng krisis, is huwag basta-basta na maniniwala. Alamin lahat, huwag kang maniniwala sa mga nakikita mo online, lalo na yung mga pinopost nila online na hindi naman totoo. Huwag basta maniniwala at huwag basta tangkilikin. Maging mapanuri sa lahat ng oras para ikaw mismo maprotektahan mo yung sarili mo sa mga fake news na yan, at lalo sa panahon ngayon, crisis, talagang maraming naniniwala agad sa mga hindi naman totoo. Kaya ganun din, tatagan mo din yung loob mo para hindi ka panghinaan ng loob. Kung ano man yung mga nalalaman mo, kailangan alamin mo din muna bago ka gumawa ng aksyon, bago ka maniwala. Kasi talaga sa panahon ngayon, hindi mo na alam kung ano yung totoo at yung totoo sa hindi totoo. Lalo na maraming nananamantala ng mga kapwa natin tao, Pilipino, lalo na sa panahon ng krisis. Maraming nananamantala para lang kumita ng pera. Kaya yun lang para sa akin, mapoprotektahan mo yung sarili mo laban sa fake news is maging mapanuri ka.
Magandang manood ito ng balita sa TV, lalo na sa GMA o sa TV Patrol, upang mas maging tama at totoo ang balitang kanyang makukuha.
Publishing false news which potentially jeopardize public order or harm the state's interests or credit is penalized by law. According to SHAR 2021, there are strategies to safeguard against the threat posed by false information. Among these is raising awareness of the fact-checking resources that are accessible. Maintaining the involvement of citizens in fact-checking through ongoing education and training is essential. Another one is strengthening citizen engagement, because based on cognitive psychology, the propensity to fall prey to fake news is linked to poor analytical thinking and reflective reasoning. As stated by West 2017, readers and viewers should be skeptical about news sources. Learning how to judge news sites and protect oneself from inaccurate information is a high priority in the digital age.
May the people realize how their power to elect the right politician for our country can make a difference. And if the society needs a good leader, then the leader must provide and produce the needs of its people and the whole country itself. Filipino must learn from their past mistakes and never let it happen again. History repeat itself, must come to an end, and build new beginnings with an open mind and brave heart to fight for our native land. May this serve as a reminder that the future is in our hands and never let anyone take it from us.